Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to complete reading test 1 in CELPIP. Basically, I'm going to be walking you through the different questions in a sample practice test, and I'll be teaching you how to apply the strategies in order to save time and also improve the accuracy of your responses. So let's begin. Just a quick reminder that the test is taken from Practice Test Set 1 from the CELPIP official website. Alright, so as you can see, we start with the passage on the left, and as the name suggests, this is reading correspondence, so we'll be reading an email together, and we need to answer in total 11 questions. Questions 1 to 6 are based on the passage, and questions number 7 to 11 are in the form of a response to the passage. But again, you'll be using the information from the original email to complete these questions. All right, now, tip number 1. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of students make is that they first begin by reading the whole passage from beginning to end. Why is this wrong? Well, because it takes a lot of time, and you probably will end up reading it twice. You read it once, and then when you read the questions, you're going to have to go back and read entire parts again. The problem is when you're reading it for the first time, you don't know which parts are going to be important. So you're going to waste a lot of time reading a lot of information that might not come in handy by the end when you're through with all the questions. So my recommendation is, instead of reading the passage and instead of wasting 3 or 4 minutes of your valuable time, what you should be doing instead is you should build some background information based on the passage. So you shouldn't really start reading the questions without knowing anything about the passage, but then you don't need to read the whole passage from beginning to end either. So instead what you can do is you can read the first line of each paragraph to build some context in your mind. Let's see how we can do that. So the passage begins, "Hi, Mia." Okay, what does this tell me? It tells me that the person who is receiving this email is called Mia. And if I read the end part, it says, "Love, Maria." So I know that Maria is the person writing the letter. So Maria is writing this email to Mia. Now, I'm sorry for taking so long to reply to your email. As you know, I've been very busy this summer with Marco's university graduation and my family's visit from Chile. Okay, so we know that Maria has been very busy, and then Marco's university graduation. Now, who could Marco be? Maybe her son, maybe another relative. We'll find out. Okay, we know that Marco is graduating, and their family's been visiting from Chile. The next paragraph. Just when we thought things would slow down, Marco broke the news that he had accepted a job offer in Tokyo. Okay, so Marco's graduated, and he's probably going to be moving to Tokyo, right? A job was offered and he accepted. Okay, let's move on to the next paragraph. Marco is over the moon, but Jack and I are having a tougher time with it. Okay, so now it seems to me that Marco is probably her son and Jack is probably her husband, right? Because they're the ones who are really struggling and they have problems with this decision. Next paragraph. In any event, we are planning a farewell party for friends next weekend, and Marco cannot imagine not having you, Jason and Cindy, there. Okay, so there's a farewell party being organized. Now, I only read the first sentence of each paragraph, but I managed to understand a lot about the passage. I know that Maria is writing a letter to Mia, I know that Maria's husband is called Jack. I know that they have a son called Marco. I know that Marco is accepted a job in Japan and is probably leaving very soon, and that they are planning a farewell party for Marco, and that Mia is being invited to this farewell party. That's a lot of information, and believe it or not, that's all you need in order to answer a lot of the questions. Okay, now let's take a look at the questions. The first thing you should know is that the questions normally appear in order. That's a very important tip because it shows that the answer to this question is probably going to appear before the answer to question number 2, and question number 2 will probably appear before question number 3. And the questions are designed so that they start from the beginning and kind of guide you through. So in many cases, in my experience, question number 1 can be found in paragraph number 1, and question number 2 can be found in paragraph number 2. Now, there are some exceptions to this, but in my experience, most of the time, this is the case. And knowing this can really help you find the answers fast. All right, let's begin with question number 1. Maria's mother is now. Okay, now, I know that the answer is probably going to be in paragraph 1, and I know it's going to be about Maria's mother. So the key word here is mother. Let me quickly take a look and let me see if I can find anything about the word mother. Now, a lot of the time, they will not give you the exact same word. They'll go with a synonym. So a synonym for mother is, and you can see here, mom, right? So my mom remembers you well from when we were kids. After the celebrations, we took the family sightseeing here in Vancouver. They loved it. They left yesterday for Victoria and will catch a plane back home from there in 3 days. So interesting. It seems like Maria's mother was visiting her and that now she is on her way back home. Now, they visited from Chile, right? Here it says, my family's visit from Chile. Now, let's see. They left yesterday for Victoria, and they're going to take a plane back home to Chile in 3 days. So now I'm going to look at the options. Notice that I didn't look at the options before finding the keyword mom in the passage. Why is that important? Because a lot of the time, if you look at the questions, you're only going to get distracted by the responses, by the items that are provided. But if you kind of figure out the answer for yourself and then look at the options, you're going to find the answer much quicker, and it's probably going to be more accurate. Let's give it a try. So, Maria's mother is now in Chile, in Calgary, in Vancouver, in Victoria. So we know that they flew to Victoria and they're going to be going back to Chile in 3 days. So the answer is Victoria. Number 2, in a few weeks, Maria's son Marco will, okay, now we want to learn something about Marco and what Marco will be doing in a few weeks. Now, remember, the answer to question 2 is going to be after question 1. Wherever question 1 was found, the answer, question number 2 is going to appear after it. So we found question number 1 here. So question number 2 is going to be somewhere in this paragraph, most likely. And where do we see the name Marco? The keyword is Marco, and we find it here. Let's read the sentence. So just when we thought things would slow down, Marco broke the news that he had accepted a job offer in Tokyo. He leaves at the end of the month. So at the end of the month means in a few weeks, right? So in a few weeks, Maria's son, Marco, will, I know the answer is probably going to be something like he's going to leave, right? So he's going to go to Tokyo. Let's see. Graduate from university? No. Visit his family in Japan? No, he doesn't have family in Japan. Start a new job? Visit Mia and her family. Now, we don't have any option that says go to Japan, because that would have been too obvious. But we know that he accepted a job offer to Tokyo. He's going to go to Tokyo, so it means he's going to start his new job. So the answer is item C. Okay, now the next question is Marco is feeling. So we want to know how Marco is feeling. The way we could do this is we could skim the passage very quickly for any word that describes a feeling. Now remember, the answer is going to be after where the location where we found the answer to question 2. So here we found the answer to question 2. Let's keep looking. So let's see. Do we have any words? Yes, we have the word excited. Needless to say, Marco is very excited about it. The firm has been really active, and let's keep looking. Any other words that we see? Anything related to the feelings that Marco might be experiencing? I have the other word here, apprehensive. So if you know the meaning of that word, that means kind of like anxious, not knowing what's going to happen in the future. You feel apprehensive, right? So what is he apprehensive about? He's a little apprehensive about communicating in Japanese, but the firm has a translator and a tutor to help him. So on the one hand, we have excited, and on the other hand, we have apprehensive. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in among the options. So let's take a look. Unsure about the job. No, I think he wants the job, right? Because he accepted the offer. Happy about leaving his parents. I don't think so. It doesn't say anything about him being happy because of leaving his parents. Nervous about speaking Japanese. Aha, so we did have the word apprehensive. But what was he apprehensive about? According to the passage, it says he is a little apprehensive about communicating in Japanese. So yes, as you can see, he's nervous about speaking Japanese. So they try to change it. They paraphrase the question, the items a little bit. So instead of saying communicating in Japanese, we have communicating in a new language, right? Or in Japanese, we have speaking Japanese. So the answer seems to be this one, but we're going to read the last item anyway. The last item says, sad about moving to Japan. I don't think so. The answer is C. Okay, number 4. Marco's employers are. Now, let's see what the passage says about Marco's employers. Once again, the answer to the previous question was here. So we're probably going to find the answer to the next question somewhere in this paragraph. Let's see if it makes sense. Where do we see anything about Marco's employers? Let's see. Do we have any word that says employers? Not so much. If you look closely, if you think about it, we don't see any word about employers in this paragraph. So this might be an exception. Maybe the answer to this question is still in the previous paragraph. Let's check it out. So we're going to look at the previous paragraph, and we don't see the word employer, right? If you take a look, you don't see the word employer. So whenever we don't see the word repeated, we know they're going to use synonyms instead, right? So what is the synonym that we can find? We have the word the firm. So the firm means the company, and the company is employing Marco. Therefore, the company or the firm is the employer. So let's see. What does it say? It says, the firm has been really active in the reconstruction efforts following the 2011 earthquakes in Japan. Okay, so that's the field that the firm is working in. Do we have any other mention of the firm? Well, yes, here we have this one. He was invited to work at a top engineering firm that specializes in rebuilding cities after large disasters. Okay, so now we know what type of company it is, and we're going to look at the options. Not supportive of his inexperience. Doesn't say anything about that. Doing little for Marco's adaptation. No. They are, in fact, being supportive, right? And specialists in town reconstruction. Yes, that seems to be the one that we saw in the passage. And inexperienced with disasters. No, inexperienced means they don't have experience, while in fact, they are experienced in this field. So the answer is going to be item C. Number 5, Maria and Jack are worried about. Okay, now I know that this answer is going to be found in the next paragraph, because if you remember when we were reading the passage, skimming it at the beginning, we saw that Maria and Jack were mentioned towards the middle. So let's see this paragraph. Marco is over the moon, but Jack and I are having a tough time with it. What does it refer to? The move. Now, we think he's so young to be far away, but we know it's for the best. So what are they worried about? They're worried about their son moving to a distant location, very far away, right? So what are they worried about? Let's see. Marco being in an earthquake, Marco not speaking the language. Well, that was discussed, but that's not what they're worried about. Never seeing Marco again. I don't think so. And Marco's lack of life experience. Okay, seems like we don't have direct evidence for any of these. Now, I might guess, but remember, never guess in the CELPIP exam. Always find direct evidence for your response. Let's read a little bit further. Just the other day, Jack and I were talking about that trip all of us took to Disneyland when the kids were little. Do you remember that? It's been 20 years. Time flies. So, no, we don't have anything else about it. So the answer is going to be in that first sentence. So we think he's so young to be far away, but we know it's for the best. So young to be far away. Why would you be worried about someone young being far away? Probably because they don't have life experience, right? It's the first time they're leaving the nest. Let's take a look at the options again. The closest item is Marco's lack of life experience. Now, this is a little bit more tricky than the previous items because we don't have the exact same wording, and you kind of have to infer this from the sentence. But still, this is definitely the closest item, and because we don't have any evidence for the previous items, item D, or the last item, is going to be the answer. Now, number 6, Mia and Maria. Okay, this is probably about their relationship, right? Mia and Maria. Now, if we continue this next part in the same paragraph, it says, just the other day, Jack and I were talking about that trip all of us took to Disneyland when the kids were little. So when the kids were little means it's a long time ago, right? Do you remember that? It's been 20 years. So Mia and Maria have been friends for 20 years, which is a long time. And time flies, doesn't it? Well, let's take a look at the options now. Our neighbors, our cousins. Well, it could be, but no. Our co-workers, we don't have any evidence for that. But then our old friends. That's the closest one. We have old 20 years ago, and they've been friends. And if you look at the next paragraph, just because some of you might be wondering, well, why are they not co-workers, for example? If you look at the next paragraph, it says, in any event, we are planning a farewell party for friends next weekend. So the answer is they are old friends. Okay, so we got all the answers for the first part down. Now we're moving on to the second part. You see, the second part begins with, hi, Maria. So we know that this is Mia responding to Maria. And what was Maria doing in the email? Maria was inviting Mia to the farewell party. So I wonder if she's going to accept. Let's see. This is such wonderful news. Count us in. So they're going to be attending. We would hate to miss. Now, what would they miss if they don't come to this event? The farewell party, right? Okay, because here it directly says that they're planning a farewell party. Let's take a look at the options. Now, obviously, if they went with farewell party, that would have been too easy. So what are they going to do? They're going to paraphrase again. The leaving party, the graduation, the trip, the flight. Well, leaving party and farewell party, they mean the same thing. So there you go. We will leave at 6 a.m. Sunday morning. Okay, so they're going to leave someplace at 6 a.m. Sunday morning. So we have to figure out where Mia lives, right? Where does Mia live? Does it mention where they live? We're going to have to look at the passage and try to find evidence somewhere for where Mia is living at the moment. Please recall that the answers in the second part are not necessarily appearing in the same order. So it doesn't mean that the answers to all of these questions in the second part are going to be mentioned in the last paragraph. So let's keep reading and let's try to find the answer here. So imagine having you, Jason, and Cindy. The party will be at his apartment. He really doesn't want to leave without saying goodbye to you all. We hope you make it. So it doesn't say where they live. So the answer is going to be somewhere else, right? Let's start from the beginning. I'm sorry for taking so long to reply to your email. As you know, I've been very busy this summer with Marco's graduation and my family's visit. The graduation was great. It's too bad you guys couldn't make it, but we understand it's a bit of a drive from Calgary. So there we go. We understand it's a bit of a drive from Calgary. So Mia lives in Calgary. So we will leave Calgary. Obviously, it's not Chile. We know it's not Victoria because Victoria was the answer to another question. Vancouver and Calgary, these were the ones we were kind of like, it could have been the answer, but then we know the answer is Calgary. We'll be there by early afternoon. That way, if you need any help setting up you'll have some extra help. Okay, what are they setting up? It was a farewell party, right? So let's take a look. Trip, party, move, graduation. The answer is, once again, party. Okay, pretty easy. Also, we want to give Marco a graduation gift. Initially, we thought about a sofa for his Vancouver apartment, but I guess that... Now, so they wanted to buy Marco a couch, but Marco is leaving to Japan, right? So what's the problem? He can't use that now? Well, yeah, because he's going to Japan. It's too big for the apartment? I don't think that's the reason. It's too expensive for us. No, they already wanted to buy it, and he would prefer a bed. We don't know that. That's just made up. So the answer is he can't use it now. Because, again, I know he's moving to Japan. Do you have any suggestions? Does he have everything he needs for the... Okay, what is Marco doing? Again, if I understand the gist or the main idea, I know that he's moving to Japan, and so the answer is going to be move to Tokyo. Graduation ceremony, Vancouver apartment, and visit to Disneyland are all distractions. So move to Tokyo. And so there you have it. That's how we answer the questions. Please bear in mind that the core strategy is building a background in your head about what the passage is about. A lot of the questions in part one could be answered if you have that core message in your head. And the core message in this case is Maria was writing a letter to Mia, inviting her for her son's farewell party. Her son had found a job in Japan and was going to move in the near future. This is the basic information that you need, and you can answer a lot of the questions just by knowing this core information. And you don't need to read the whole passage for that. Sometimes just by reading the first line of each paragraph, you can get the gist and you can easily answer many of the questions. Anyway, guys, I hope you find this video useful. Keep on practicing and like and subscribe. If you like this video, I'll be making more videos like it in the future. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos and model answers.